Hello, my friends. I want to show you something here that happened in my house. Generally, this kind of thing, I really wouldn't take too much thought of it because pareidolia is a condition of the human mind that tends to fill in gaps that it wants to fill in order to make up an image of something, specifically like a human face. So our minds naturally are geared to do that. And this kind of thing usually wouldn't take any real note of it at all. But the difference here is that this happened in an aquarium. This happened in my small aquarium, and the nitrates were high in it today, so I just changed the water. And if you're looking at the picture on the video screen here, you can see I'm taking a picture of where this image is that I see, but I'm showing a distance of it, so I'm not showing you the image yet. I'm just showing you that this is just in an aquarium and it's under a blue LED light for the fish. So you can see the filter in the back, you see the heater to the right, you see a plant to the left, you see the base, and you see the aquarium and the water. Now watch as I go through the pictures here. This is just a second zoomed out picture, just so I'm showing you where it is that I'm looking to where I see this image. But you can kind of begin to see it if you look right in the middle of the black thing that's in the back of the picture, the back middle of the picture, and kind of look halfway down. You can kind of make out something there, but it's hard to take a picture of this. But let me continue on here as I zoom and get closer to it. Now you can clearly see an image in this picture here. It starts to become a little more clearly what I'm looking at. You can see here on this zoomed in version of just the area of where the face would be. You can see the definition of the chin, you can see the definition of the lips, you can see the nose, you can see the eyes, you can see the slope, a straight slope on the forehead as though the hair is pulled back. And you can see appendages in front, almost appearing to be like arms or hands, looking up. And here's just another image of that where it's also kind of zoomed in to where you can see this. And then a very zoomed in detailed image of this, and you can literally see the definition of the lips whenever you zoom this in. You can see the definition of the nose. I can even make out a nostril from this picture. You can see the eye and the sunken of the eye. You can see the chin and how the chin is rounded at the bottom, and you can see the appearance of this looking up. Now, these kind of things, as I said, I'm only sharing it because it's incredibly interesting and it links to everything that I've been saying over the last week. And if you're talking about odds, what are the odds that algae forms a random formation in a fish tank that I have just after speaking about aquariums and how I see this? What are the odds of this appearing in it? Because again, it's not me drawing it on there. It's not a painting or a portrait. I didn't even know it was there until I just caught glance of it and my mind saw it. But as you can see, all it is a top fin filter hang on back in the back of it. It's algae that has produced this shape. So what are the odds of this happening in my aquarium after I was given a parable of an aquarium that I shared with you on a couple videos ago? What are the odds of this actually happening and not having any meaning to it? What are we looking at here? Are we looking at just sheer coincidence on top of coincidence? Or are we looking at something that is either angelic or perhaps a sideshow image of the Lord's face that we will not see until we see him, but kind of like a snapshot? Or is it just sheer pareidolia and we're making this out to be something, or I'm making this out to be something that it isn't, even after all of the other things that happened previous to this? So again, I just wanted to share this like I shared a little while ago. If you recall, I put out a video where I took a movie picture of the object that I had seen in the sky that I call the disco ball, or it's tumbling light, and it moves to and fro almost haphazardly, and it's all kind of different colors and lights. And then on a week after that, I saw another video where there was people like Mr. BB3, I think is his name, whatever his name is, but he posted an image of somebody taking this video of that same object in North Carolina. And then that same object was seen in Mexico. That same object that I sent a video of on here speaking to you. After I had put out that video, I then began seeing it in other people's videos. And this goes back to the point that I'm making, how the days of Israel are coming into mold. The Lord is again turning his direction, turning his mercy back to them. And Israel is not the ones who call themselves Jews, as I speak of. It's those who are calling themselves Christians that are doing exactly what the Jews did in the scriptures. They are Jews. They are still of the law. They are not under grace, even though that's all they talk about is grace. If you look at what they're doing the same things that the Jews did. The Lord looks at them like a Jew, and they are his chosen people that he will never abandon, and they are looking at somebody else that is not that to fulfill that, when the Lord is going to fulfill that to them. And then I see these images, and I see all of these other things and all these events happening, and I see the Lord pronounce judgment on Israel, this people that we see. But at the same time, he's turning his favors back towards them. He's letting them know that he hasn't completely abandoned them. And of course, at the rapture, at the breaking of the glass, when the aquarium shatters and the great floodwaters come in, then the Lord completely turns his favor back to Israel, because his bride will be taken up at that moment. She is taken and hidden away, while the rest of Israel will be taken and hidden away on the earth, however that will happen. Then you will have the two witnesses come about, you will have the 144,000, you will have the rest of the scriptures fulfilled through the Jews, which right now call themselves Christians. So it's just very interesting how I will make a point of something, I'll speak of something, and then see something happen with exactly what I've spoken about through other people. I can see that that is a movement of spirit. And I wonder, by me showing you this event that happened to me, I wonder if you will see videos of other people come out seeing these kinds of things, seeing what the world will call pareidolia come up. I guess we'll see. So far it's been happening like that. I receive something, I put it out, and then I see it a week later, a couple days later, from other people. And I have to tell you one other thing here, and it's completely separate from this, but it is so very troubling to me. I had spoken, even if you go back a year or two ago, by all of these YouTube churches that have popped up. I've been always led to see what they're actually doing, that they cannot see, they are blind. But I speak and warn, not because they are my enemies, but because out of love I speak the truth to anyone listening to me, so that you can see what I have been given to see of them. And I spoke many of times how they're almost like watching a gaming channel, or they're watching like a sales channel or something like that, because what they're doing is exactly the same things. Do you know that now I've begun to see those churches literally doing reaction videos, where they have somebody that's speaking a prophecy, a video that was sent to them, they put it on, they're wearing their headsets, and they're giving facial reactions, and they're laughing, and they're talking. They're literally now doing the same exact thing that you would watch on a gaming channel, or an infomercial for OnlyFans. They're literally now begun doing the same exact thing. And this is the kind of thing that is like smoke in the nostrils of the Lord, because they're doing all this and they're calling them holy works, and I'm telling you, they're completely under judgment and do not realize it. Stay far, far away from those ones. See what they do and be wholly, righteously offended by what they are doing, because they are profaning the name of God by saying that God is the world. They're upholding Satan, and they don't even realize it. That is the God that they're upholding, not the God of Jacob, not the God of Isaac, not the God of Abraham. They're upholding Satan the whole time, calling it holy. incredibly disturbing. I see all these videos on YouTube that come to me, and they're all doing the same things. I am greatly, righteously offended by it, because I sit here and I uphold what God has given me of His name, as a faithful bride would uphold her husband whenever somebody is speaking falsely of her husband. That's what I do. That's what we all do who know the Lord. But we're such a remnant to watch the temple, the holy temple of God, be absolutely desecrated as it is right now. That is something to be offended by. And not offended as the way the world is offended, because as Jesus spoke, they all are, but offended wholly and righteously by what they are doing to trash the name of our God by saying that God, the holy temple, the Holy Spirit that dwells within you, is no different than what dwells within the world. Look out for these ones in your walk, my friends. Don't pay any attention to them. Don't even pray for them, as the Lord says, because they are in the judgment of His hands. He will not even hear your prayers of them. Go back to Jeremiah and you can see this, people. They are prostitutes and they don't realize it. They are harlots and they don't realize it. They're upholding Satan and they don't realize it. And all that they come to do, exactly as Jeremiah says, they come to snare and trap any of the seeds that could possibly go into the ground and produce a crop. They snare those seeds before they ever get a chance to plant. Be wary of these ones and of this image that I'm speaking of here that I see in my aquarium. What an amazing coincidence that is, if it means nothing. If it's simply my pareidolia, what an amazing thing pareidolia is, especially giving everything that I've spoke of. God bless.